Sairam students, welcome back and I hope all of you are doing good. In today's literature class, we have another lesson from your textbook First Flight. Basically, this is the third lesson under the topic Two Stories About Flying. We will be studying about two stories. But this week, we will deal with the very first story, that is His First Flight, which is written by Liam O'Flaherty. Now, Liam O'Flaherty was an Irish novelist and short story writer. He was born on August 28, 1896, and he became a popular literary figure with his best-selling novel, The Informer. The next novel, Return of the Brute, was also a great success, and he is remembered as a major voice of the Irish literary renaissance. He passed away on September 7th, 1984. Students, I hope you have kept a book and a pen handy to jot down all the important points. Let's begin with the lesson. Now, this lesson, His First Flight, is a story of hesitation, trial, and error, and finally getting success in the end. It's an interesting story of a hesitant and timid seagull learning the art of flying. While his two brothers and sister had already learned flying, his fear and hesitation stopped him from doing so. His diving at the fish due to hunger proved a blessing in disguise. After a shaky start, he spread out his wings and started flying upwards and downwards. It was his first flight. The author gives a message that no one can attain success instantly. Repeated trials and errors leads one to success. So it's not easy to get success in your life. It'll take time. But what we need to do is we have to keep trying. And this is what the lesson is all about. It revolves around a family of seagulls, and the youngest one who wants to fly but has a fear that he may fall into the ocean. So let us see in this lesson. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. His two brothers and his sister had already flown down the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him, so he bent his head and ran away back into the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. So basically this story is about a young seagull, and he was all alone on the ledge. Why was he all alone? Because his other siblings, his two brothers and sister, had already taken their first flight. And he was afraid. He was scared to take his first flight. He tried many times, but as soon as he reached near the brink of the ledge. Now what's a ledge? It's a part of rock jutting out. So as soon as he reached near the brink, the edge of the ledge, and he tried to flap his wings, he was afraid. He got scared and he used to move back. What was he scared of? He was scared of the great expanse of sea, the great stretch of the sea that was below. He was scared that as soon as he jumped from there, he would go directly into the sea because his wings would not support him. So what he did, he went back to to the ledge where there was a small hole. He went and he slept over there that night. Even when each of his brothers and his sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings and flew away, he failed to muster up courage to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother had come around calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. So this is a family of 3 brothers, 1 sister, 1 father and mother. So 6 seagulls in all. So even when each of his brother and his little sister, whose wing were far shorter than his own, okay, these seagulls had already taken their first flight. They ran to the brink, flapped their wings and flew away. So they had tried this the previous day. But what was wrong with this one? He could not muster up courage. He could not gather courage to take that plunge, to take that jump, which appeared to be so desperate. Yes, he wanted to take that jump, but he was so scared. He did not trust his own wings. He thought if he jumps, he may directly land into the sea. His father and mother had come around calling to him shrilly. They were continuously around him, calling him, in their own way, asking him to take a jump, upbraiding him, rebuking him, scolding him, and they were trying to threaten him that they will not give him any food that night. But in spite of all these things, he was scared. He could not move from there. Proceeding further. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sister, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. He had in fact seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it, standing on a rock, while his parents circled around raising a proud cackle. And all the morning the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. Now, that was 24 hours ago. What was happening? Till 24 hours, they were trying to come and tell him that he needs to take his first flight. But after that, they stopped. Nobody came near him. Since then, nobody had come near him. The day before, all day long, he watched his parents flying about with his brother and sisters. Like I told you before also, children, his brothers and sister had already taken their first flight. And what were the parents doing? They were helping the kids, the other 2 brothers and the sister, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves. What is skim? Skim is to touch the waves lightly, and how to dive for a fish. So the parents were busy teaching the other children how to skim the waves and how to dive and catch the fish. He had in fact seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it. So what did he see? From up he was seeing that his siblings were successful in their first flight, and in that also the eldest brother was able to catch one fish. Herring is a fish, and eat it, while his parents circle around raising a proud cackle. Now the parents are trying to teach the children how to take a flight, how to catch a prey for themselves. So when the parents saw that the elder one was successful in doing it, they were praising, they were encouraging them even more. All the morning, the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. What is cowardice? Lack of courage. He was not confident. He was not sure he could take that first flight. So what were the other family members doing? They were taunting him. They used to come near the cliff. They used to taunt. So he was feeling very bad about it. Let's proceed further, children. The sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on his ledge that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge and, standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing, he closed one eye, then the other, and pretended to be falling asleep. Still, they took no notice of him. His two brothers and his sister, lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. So here, what happened was, the sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on his ledge. Blazing over here is burning, that faced the south. He felt the heat. It was very hot, and he had not eaten anything since the previous night because the parents had already warned him that until and unless you don't take your first flight, we are not going to give you anything to eat. So he was hungry. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the edge, and standing on one leg with the other hidden under his wing, he closed one eye and then the other. Now he went near the edge of the ledge to see his family members and to show and to take their attention. But what happened? They didn't take any notice. What he did was he closed one eye and then the other and pretended to be falling asleep. But still he was near the ledge. He tried to show that if he falls asleep he may fall. But still nobody took any notice of him. He saw his two brothers and sisters lying on the plateau, and what were they doing over there? They were dozing. They were happy. They were contented. Their first flight is done, and now they know how to catch a prey, how to dive for a fish. So what were they doing? They were dozing. They were sleeping with their heads sunk into their necks. I hope, students, the lesson is clear till here. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of the food maddened him. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. Now what were the other family members doing? His father was preening the feathers. So he was busy dressing himself, dressing up his feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. After all, a mother, she was concerned about her child. So she was the only one who was paying attention to her child. Where was she standing? She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau where her breast thrust forward. Now and again she tore at a piece of her fish. Now she's trying to draw his attention. She wants her child to take the first flight. So she's trying all possible ways which will force him to take his first flight. What she did? She tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. So what was she doing? She was tearing the piece of fish. She scrapped over here. She rubbed each side. Now to sharpen, why did she rub? To sharpen the beak. She scraped each side of her beak on the rock. Why? To sharpen it, so that tearing of the fish could be easy for her. And this sight, he was hungry. We know he was hungry because he had not eaten anything for the past since last night. He had not eaten anything. So the sight of food, the moment he saw that piece of fish, that maddened him. He got mad. Okay. Then he remembered how he loved to tear food that way. Okay. Scraping his beak. Why? To sharpen it, to wet it. Ga ga ga, he cried, begging her to bring him some food. Gokula, she screamed back derisively. But he kept calling plaintively, and after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with it. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. But when she was just opposite to him, she halted, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. Now, this young seagull is very hungry because he has not eaten anything since the last night. Okay, so he is trying to call his mother. Ga, ga, ga. Maybe that is their way of asking something. So he cried to his mother. He begged, asking her to give him some food. And mother also had her own way of replying back. She screamed back derisively. Derisively is scornfully. But he kept calling plaintively. Plaintively is sadly. He was sad. He wanted food. He was very desperate. He was hungry. He was desperate to take his first flight, but he was scared that he'll end up going into the ocean. He was very sad. He was calling his mother, come here and give me some food. And after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. He was happy. Why? What did he see? His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with it. So he was super happy that now he will get his meal. He is hungry. So when he cried to his mother, mother also brought him a small piece of fish. He leaned out eagerly. He was so hungry that he leaned out. He went ahead a little and tapping the rock with his feet out of excitement on seeing the food, that now he will get some food to eat. So, and he was tapping his foot and trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. But when she was just opposite to him, she halted. So he thought that mother is now going to come close to him and feed him that piece of fish. But what happened? When she was just opposite, very close to him, she stopped, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. So they were very close. Mother didn't go ahead. She stopped there. There was some reason why she stopped over there, which students we will read in our next class. We'll study in our next class. Till then, students, you will take care of yourselves. Sai Ram and bye-bye.